The San Francisco 49ers have recently received some exciting news, and there's a major move that's been made within the organization that we're going to dive into shortly. Additionally, I've got an update on Brock Purdy's situation, along with some important dates I want to share with you. But before we jump into all of that, let's talk about something I mentioned in the past regarding a giveaway initiative for the subscribers. Now, as I'm looking at the time, I previously mentioned I would wait 24 hours from when I posted the giveaway to choose the winner. So, as you're watching this, the comment will be pinned below at 7:45 p.m. Pacific time, which, just so you know, is different from my mountain time, meaning it might take a little while for the pinned comment to appear. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this, it will already be visible, but if not, don't worry. It will be posted at 7:45 p.m. Pacific time. The winner will have 72 hours to respond and confirm their interest. And once they do, I'll provide instructions on how they can claim the $50 to use on products related to the 49ers. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into a quick update on Brock Purdy. Recently, a commentator participated in a discussion they call the Breakfast Club, and I want you to hear briefly what was highlighted in that clip. Basically, it was pointed out that everything this player has done since stepping onto the field in the NFL has been exceptional. He's been leading in yards per attempt, ranking first in passer rating, second in yards, and third in victories. Based on every definition, this athlete qualifies as an elite quarterback. If you want to put him in the top 5, top 7, top 8, or even top 10, honestly, I'm fine with all of that. He's an elite quarterback. And it's interesting to see that more people are finally starting to realize he deserves $50 million a year. He's absolutely worthy of that contract. So, I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with this perspective? Personally, I've always had those debates about where Brock Purdy ranks among the top quarterbacks, whether he's in the top 5 or top 10. I remember having a conversation about it, and the consensus opinion among most of the people I spoke to seemed to be around number 7. One of my friends, who critiques Brock Purdy a lot, knows exactly what I'm talking about. I know you're watching this, so don't try to deny it. And that's fine. Everybody has their own perspective. There are always those who look at Brock Purdy and ask, really? This is your QB1? Are you sure about that? The thing with Brock Purdy is I've kind of moved past the debate of whether he's in the top 5 or top 10 quarterbacks because I don't think it really adds any value to the conversation. Every year, these athletes are in very different situations, so I prefer to look at it from a more layered perspective. We've talked about this recently, so I won't go into all the details again, but there's the top tier of quarterbacks, guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and a few others. Then outside of that top tier, there's a second tier that encompasses essentially 28 teams in the NFL. Most teams in the league would love to have a quarterback from this second tier, which, in my opinion, is characterized by quarterbacks who are on the verge of becoming elite, guys who could easily be elite quarterbacks in any given year. These are the kinds of quarterbacks who can undoubtedly lead their teams to a Super Bowl win. They may not necessarily give their team the best chance to win a Super Bowl compared to the other quarterbacks in the first tier, but according to the ranking I mentioned earlier, there are only 4 teams in the NFL right now that have one of these quarterbacks. They represent that type of quarterback who is capable of leading a team to a Super Bowl victory. While their chances may not be as high as some other quarterbacks right now, only 4 teams in the NFL currently possess that kind of player. Take the Cincinnati Bengals, for example, who surprisingly didn't even make it to the playoffs. This just shows that even with a good quarterback, it doesn't guarantee success. But what I can say for sure is that Brock Purdy falls into that second tier of quarterbacks, and he has the potential to become an elite player. Of course, he benefits from having talented players around him, and honestly, who wouldn't benefit from that? I'm comfortable with that analysis, but let's talk about something else now. Something I'm really excited about, almost as if I'm pushing through a wall to cheer for the 49ers after seeing the announcement of the offseason dates. I know some of you might be thinking, really? You're excited about that. But honestly, I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to seeing how things will unfold. While the rookie minicamp isn't listed here, which is the one thing missing, we do have a training camp scheduled for July, but we don't need to worry about that right now. These are the official off-season activities. Besides the rookie minicamp, which I didn't include here because I want to tie it in with what I'm about to say next, One of the things I enjoy most about this time of year is that if your baseball team, for instance, is struggling by the time April rolls around, and I imagine most of you are Giants fans, you'll have these activities to support you. I really like this time of year because it's a period when we can dive a little deeper into who these players are. To me, it makes the real season even more exciting because you spend so much time learning about them, getting excited about their performances, and building anticipation for the direction the football team is headed. When you start thinking about those players, it really enriches the experience as the season gets closer, giving even more meaning to their accomplishments. That's because you've spent so much time learning about them and building anticipation for the journey of the football team. It creates a sense of involvement, and I'm genuinely excited about the upcoming dates, the team's planned activities, and seeing those players on the field. It makes us feel like we're getting closer to the next NFL season, especially the 2025 season, and I'm really excited for that. Now, let's talk about the recent move the 49ers made. I ask for a little patience here because you might not immediately understand the implications of this move. So don't assume you know exactly where I'm going with this. According to a reputable source that tracks various team interactions, there are a lot of trackers that follow meetings, visits, and virtual sessions with potential players, along with those observed at events like the Senior Bowl and Pro Days. Among them, the tracker I'm referring to is one that stands out as especially trustworthy, in my opinion. If you want the link to it, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll find it for you. Now, let's talk about the official visits of the top 30 group for the team. Jalen Coners is someone we've discussed before, and at that time, he hadn't yet participated in his visit, which was a planned event. Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green is featured here, and we've had some in-depth conversations about him. He's a tight, and that really excites me. Then there's Justin Jacobs, who is an interesting case. He's not in every ranking, but from what I could find, this is actually an official visit with the top 30 players, confirmed about 8 days ago. However, this information wasn't widely circulated at that time. The reason for my hesitation is that I've been focusing on content I've seen from a channel I follow on social media that's been listing the top 30 matchups for the team, mentioning, for example, a player from Arkansas and a defensive lineman from South Carolina. However, Justin Jacobs isn't on the list, while a player from Marshall is, which caught my attention. When I heard that, I got really excited because that player is exactly the type of prospect I would love for the team to go after. I really hope they do everything they can within the rules to try and land him because he's the kind of athlete I think the organization should prioritize. He's a great prospect and undoubtedly the type of talent I consider essential for the team. If that move happens, it would be a major step forward for the organization in bringing that player to the city, assuming the information from the channel is accurate. I've noticed some reports that haven't included him yet, so it's possible that the team's website hasn't updated that information because it hasn't been confirmed by an official source. The team only validates information from recognized journalists. So, if I say the team met with this player, it wouldn't carry much credibility since I'm not an official journalist. Keeping that in mind, he's ranked 12th on the PFF list, and just to clarify, this ranking doesn't take into account the draft needs. It's a general ranking. So, when you consider the players that teams need, this athlete's position might shift depending on how each team perceives the draft, which could also affect his value. If a team really needs a quarterback, for example, and his PFF ranking is 35, selecting him at number 2 overall would make his ranking seem closer to number 13. The bottom line is this is a first-round talent, a great prospect, and the team has shown significant interest in bringing him on board, which is really encouraging. What PFF has said about this player is that he only has 2 years of starting experience and didn't face the toughest competition to evaluate his talent at the NFL level. Still, he's done everything you'd expect from a future NFL player, showing great numbers in pass rush and run defense, with a 90th percentile in win rate and tackles for loss. He's got all the right physical traits for an NFL linebacker in a 3-4 defense. And his PFF rankings 2 years ago placed him 12th among edge rushers, moving up to 2nd this year. That's pretty impressive, especially considering the number of players in college football. While PFF doesn't have all the positives listed for every player, one well-known site has some really good scouting reports if you're interested in digging into those details. In terms of his attributes, he has the right length for the NFL position, long arms, and good physical build, keeping his balance. He rarely goes down to the ground and has an explosive first step that allows him to threaten offensive tackles right away. His lateral movement and balance are solid, allowing him to slip through gaps consistently. He plays a physical brand of football, always looking to shed blocks, even though he hasn't fully mastered that technique yet. The only 3 drawbacks I found are not too alarming. Launching from his back foot could help him attack the outside more efficiently, and he needs to focus his eyes more when making contact. The outside attack is something the team would expect from him, especially in a wide-end scheme, but if they stick with that approach, he really needs to maintain an elevated vision while making contact. That's something we talked about with various prospects last year, and when evaluating a player, the focus is on their ability to fix weaknesses. For example, if the weakness is related to arm length or wingspan, that's something challenging to address. But if the issues are with vision, body posture, or hand positioning, those are elements that can be worked on through training. Honestly, I don't think this is a major issue. From the beginning, it was pointed out that the competition faced wasn't the toughest, which could also be seen as a drawback. Overall, there's a genuine excitement about this. In fact, we're just 21 days away, although it's mentioned as 22, but I can disregard that. The most important thing is that there are just 18 or 19 days left until the first official day of off-season activities. This isn't just for one team, but it's understandable to feel the excitement for what's coming next. The league year has already started, and it's thrilling to anticipate the beginning of off-season activities, where players will have meetings and will get footage and photos from the team's facilities. There's really a lot of energy building around this, and I hope that excitement is shared. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments, and I appreciate all the support. A special surprise is also being planned. Wishing everyone a wonderful evening, and the week is almost coming to a close. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A stunning rumor is shaking up the NFL world. Could Tua Tagovailoa, the Miami Dolphins star quarterback, be on his way to the San Francisco 49ers? While nothing is confirmed, whispers of a potential blockbuster move have gained traction, sparking debates about how such a transfer could reshape the balance of power in the NFC. With the 49ers already boasting an elite roster, the addition of a quarterback like Tagovailoa could be the missing piece to their Super Bowl puzzle. The speculation comes at a fascinating moment in Tagovailoa's career. Fresh off a season where he led the NFL in passing yards and proved his ability to stay healthy for a full campaign, the Dolphins signal caller has solidified himself as one of the league's most efficient passers. However, questions remain about Miami's long-term commitment to him, especially given concerns over his durability and their offensive scheme. If the Dolphins are indeed open to a trade, the 49ers would be a natural suitor. After all, head coach Kyle Shanahan has built a reputation for maximizing quarterback potential. But how would Tagovailoa fit in San Francisco? The 49ers have a strong young quarterback in Brock Purdy, who is impressed with his poise and command of the offense. Yet, the team has seen firsthand how crucial depth at the position can be, especially after suffering key injuries in recent playoff runs. Tagovailoa's accuracy, quick decision-making, and ability to thrive in a well-structured offense could make him an ideal match for Shanahan's system, potentially elevating San Francisco's already formidable attack. The financial aspect of a move like this cannot be ignored. Tagovailoa recently signed a massive 4-year, $212.4 million contract extension, meaning any trade would require significant cap maneuvering from the 49ers. Would they be willing to part ways with draft capital or key players to land him? Alternatively, could Miami see value in reshaping their roster by moving their franchise quarterback? The negotiations, if real, would be anything but simple. For now, this remains a tantalizing rumor, but one that refuses to fade. The idea of Tagovailoa orchestrating the 49ers' offense is enough to excite San Francisco fans while leaving Dolphin supporters on edge. Whether this speculation turns into reality or fades into the archives of NFL what-ifs, one thing is clear. The quarterback carousel never stops spinning, and Tua Tagovailoa could soon find himself at the center of one of the league's most unexpected moves. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.